All right, what's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Let's talk Andy Ruiz Jr. against Anthony Joshua rematch. All right, this is sort of becoming a little bit of a mess. Okay, uh, good promotion though. Good promotion. It's keeping everyone talking about this fight. You know, uh, so in that sense, it's good. Andy Ruiz has been saying a lot publicly. Okay, and started with the location, saying that he wanted the fight to be in Mexico, and he said that now he's saying he wants the fight to be on U.S. soil. He didn't want to go to the UK and fight in Cardiff, and now he doesn't want to fight in Saudi Arabia. Okay. Now, when the Saudi Arabia news was looming, and this maybe about a week ago, he started coming out and saying that he wanted more money. Okay. Now, Andy Ruiz, replacement fighter, replaced Gerald Miller. Okay. He was one of the few guys that was in a list of potential Anthony Joshua fights opponents. Um, they selected Andy Ruiz. He got his opportunity to fight. He wasn't a mandatory. He wasn't highly ranked. He was just not even on the radar. Okay, Team Joshua selected him. Okay, he came here for in New York. Everybody's all buddy buddy, and everything was all good. Once Andy Ruiz won the fight, everything changed. All right. Most people didn't expect him to win. All right. But now he's making a lot of demands. He's not saying why. He's basically saying, well, in his most recent, I think it was IG Live, he said that he doesn't have any protection in Saudi Arabia. I don't know what he means by that. He really didn't give any details. He didn't elaborate on it. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about in Cardiff. Okay, not fighting there, which is the place that I thought that he would fight. Now, listen, me personally, I want a lot of things. I make a lot of demands. I would like the fight to be back here in New York again. Why not? I mean, that's the place that Anthony Joshua lost at. Why not run it back in New York? You lost here. Why don't you bring it back and prove everybody wrong that it was just, prove to the world that was just a fluke. You was just off that night and come back here, beat them in New York. That's what I want. But when I heard that Eddie Hearn was trying to make the fight in Cardiff, I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, I see why that they would make that choice. I mean, AJ has fought at home his whole career. Why not bring the fight back where they're comfortable at fighting? You know, but it's whatever. I didn't think of a big deal of it. Right? Whether he fights in Cardiff, whether he fights here in U.S., Saudi Arabia, whatever. You know. Uh, And then, when it came to this money situation and the 9 million that he's supposed to receive, he received 7 million for the first fight, got 9 million now. And I said, you know what? Hey, if this guy wants more money, he wants more money. I mean, I think he should get paid more. Why not? Pay him, throw him a couple more million if you can. But Eddie Hearn and Team AJ they're not obligated to pay him more. He's getting paid what he agreed to get paid. Of course, this money or this fight is worth a lot more money than the first fight was because he was never supposed to fight Andy Ruiz in the first place. And Ruiz wasn't. He didn't have a large fan base. I know he's a Mexican fighter, but it's not like the Mexican fan base is talking about him every day. He's just another fighter that was overlooked. You know, he's overlooked. I liked him. I mean, I made videos on him before, but I mean, he's not on everybody's mind. Let's be real. But I think he should get paid more. But if they choose not to pay him more, then so be it. This is what you agreed to. I mean, listen, you were broke, right? You were broke. You were broke before this fight. You're happy now that you're able to take care of your family and everything like that. It's an opportunity in a lifetime. You got paid 7 million. I bet that 7 million looked real good when you weren't getting paid shit before that. I bet you that 9 million and a possible rematch looked real good when you were broke, when you signed for it. But now that you won the fight, I guess like now I guess everybody feel, well, he feels for sure, but I guess people feel that he should get paid much more. I mean, I even feel that he should get paid more, because I know how much money is going to be in a rematch. But at the end of the day, bro, you wasn't getting paid. You was getting paid chump change before this fight, and that goes for everybody else. This is why I said Wilder, take the 15 million, knock him out, and then for the fight to remain the fight, you dictate how much you want to get paid after that. That's why I said back then. Said the same thing for Dillian White. I think he should have taken a rematch. Should have fought him in April. Maybe that could have been you that night. You know, could have been you. Maybe you would have knocked out AJ instead of Andy Ruiz, but you dodged that, and now this guy came in, slipped in, and now he's unified. Oh, and the IBF is waiving they're gonna allow for AJ and Ruiz to fight. All right, so they're not gonna strip anyone. All right, but whoever wins this fight is gonna be mandated to fight Pulev. All right, Pulev, who actually backed out before, he was actually a mandatory before a while ago to fight AJ. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, after AJ beat Klitschko. Okay, but since Klitschko didn't take the rematch, Pulev back out, and I think that is when AJ fought Povetkin. I'm not sure. I can't remember now, but anyway, IBF is on ball with the rematch. Okay, they're good. I thought that they might have stripped what's this called, Andy Ruiz. All right, so they're good to go, which is good. But listen, whether you're talking from a business sense or a moral sense, as far as morals, you should give the guy that gave you the opportunity to fight for his titles, to fight to titles that he won, the titles that he unified. He put in the work to get those titles. You won one fight and picked up 3 belts. So AJ deserves the opportunity to fight for his title. And based on the contract that you signed, because I bet you if you came there that day and said, I want to fight here, I want to fight here, I want this amount of money, you would have never got the opportunity. But you agreed on contract to fight under their terms. So you have to honor that. Andy Ruiz, you have to honor that. Now, I don't know what the holdup is. I hear channels say stuff about loopholes. Maybe there is loopholes. I don't know. Maybe Heyman. And that's another thing, too. I don't know if Andy Ruiz is doing all of this because he really feels this way, or is he being advised to do this? Maybe he's just putting a little bit more pressure. Me personally, I think this is just playing hardball, making it a little rougher and tougher for Eddie Hearn. I know that at the press conference they had recently, neither one of the fighters showed up. Okay, so maybe he's just making it a little rougher. Maybe he's making it where he receives a little bit more money. I don't know. I don't know, but I know one thing: if these guys don't fight and take the rematch, there will be a lawsuit, and that's going to be a major lawsuit because of the kind of money that this fight potentially could make. This rematch. So I don't think they want to do that. None of us want that. We all want to see the rematch anyway. So I don't. I think at the very end, these guys are gonna agree to fight. Um, in Saudi Arabia, probably. Saudi Arabia. How do I feel about it? I really don't know what to feel about it. I really don't know. There's a lot of things that's bothering me about this fight. Um, I don't know what's really going on. I know what people are saying about Saudi Arabia. I mean, I'm just assuming that some huge investors is out there and they're paying a lot of money up, putting a lot of money up for this fight, and that's the reason why. Because I would think Eddie would want to have this fight in Cardiff. You know, I think strategically, I think that's the better place to have it. Have it in a place where AJ is comfortable in fighting. Just in case he wasn't comfortable in New York. But I mean, listen, they have in Saudi Arabia. That's their issue. I don't know. I know a lot of people are talking about drugs. Okay, a lot of people have been saying stuff like the reason why he lost in New York is because his he wasn't on the PEDs he's normally on in the UK. You know how I am on this channel. I'm not gonna sit here and just bring up and say random shit like that when it comes to drugs. I don't do it. I just don't. I don't do it. I don't have any proof of that, so I don't ever say any of that. You know. I know Dillian White just got his he just got popped by UCAD out in the UK, and I wasn't expecting that. I mean, he was clean with Vada, but there's more information to come with that, so I don't want to talk too much about that. But yeah, man. I mean, look, the Saudi Arabia thing. Um, if it's up to me, like I said, have it here in the States again. If not here, then have it in the UK. I mean, that's where you guys are from. I mean, you guys call the shots. You guys are the big, you guys are the A side and shit. So have it in the UK. Have it in Cardiff. I mean, this is a do or die fight. And that brings another thing. I seen the interview on JD Sports. It's starting to make me feel a little weird about AJ and this rematch. Since the fight, I've been very supportive in saying that I think AJ should take the immediate rematch. Uh, and I think that I think he would win the fight. But now I'm not really too sure. AJ seems to be in denial about him losing the fight the way that he did. He seems to not really understand that he got his ass whooped in that fight. Now I know there's a lot of people on YouTube, and I'm sure there's people in his camp, and I know there was a lot of stuff going on between his dad and Eddie Hearn and Joey DeWecko, all of this stuff. I mean, how many times do I have to repeat this? I understand that there's a lot of conspiracies on why AJ lost the fight. But what I saw in the ring is AJ getting his ass whooped. And the way AJ talks, he seems to be in denial about it. Okay. I feel that he is still underestimating Andy Ruiz, which plenty of us did. You know, I felt this when AJ allowed him to hold his titles at that press conference. It's just all laughing and joking, like ha ha ha, like yeah, you're gonna be rich. I'm giving you an opportunity. I'm gonna beat you up, and that's it. That's the kind of energy I felt when I saw that press conference, and I made a video about it. I felt like AJ was underestimating this guy. Now I picked AJ to win by decision, but I remember there was a lot of people in those comments saying AJ, I mean, Wave, you bugging out. Ruiz is gonna get knocked out in 2, 3 rounds. All this stuff, all this stuff. I mean, I was wrong, but I mean, I didn't completely underestimate the guy. I do think Andy Ruiz is good. I just didn't think he would win. Um, but I knew he wasn't no pushover neither. You know. Uh, I think AJ is underestimating him still. I think when I listened to that interview, and I didn't like the interview. It's not even because of AJ. I didn't like the guy that was giving the interview. The guy was giving his opinion. He was talking too long, first of all. And second, he was giving his opinion and having AJ reply to his opinion. Now, I understand that a lot of people share those same thoughts that this guy was putting out there in that interview. But I want to hear you ask questions, and I want to hear AJ's response. I don't want AJ, and being that this is the first real long detailed interview about the fight. I mean, these guys, I like the fact that they were going through the rounds and stuff in the fight. But if this is the first time we really hear you break down why you lost the fight, I don't want the guy that's giving the interview give his analysis on the fight, and AJ is piggybacking off what he's saying. He didn't do it the entire interview, but I feel like the majority of the interview was that kind of interview. It really wasn't the interview that I was expecting. I want to hear AJ talk. I don't want to hear you talk. I mean, no disrespect to the guy, the brother that was giving the interview, but I just didn't like it. You know, I want to hear from AJ. Ask him the questions. Hey, look, how did you feel in this round? Let him answer. Let not him work off what you're saying. How you feel on what you saw. I mean, it's good to rebuttal if AJ, answers a question and replies with, this. You ask a question, AJ replies, and then you're allowed to reply back on what he said. That's cool. But let the man talk. I mean, this guy was talking throughout the whole interview. I didn't like the interview, but even in the interview, it just seems like AJ, I don't know, man. I mean, it's nothing wrong with coming off a little confident and you want to hurry up and get back in there and get your belts back. And I get it. You're really eager to get your belts back. I understand. But AJ should be going into this fight like this is the toughest challenge he's ever had to make in his career. And I'm not getting that from him. He's still talking about the other fighters that he feels are better than the opponents that he's beaten already. We already know you beat Joseph Parker, Klitschko, Povetkin, Dillian White. We know that. But you need to be going into this fight as if this is the most dangerous opponent you're ever going to face. And I'm not getting that vibe from him. And that worries me. That worries me a lot. Uh, don't make the same mistake twice. I mean, listen, if you go in there and lose, you lose to the better fighter, lose to him. That's cool. Prepare. He is saying that he's nothing about this preparation leading up to the Andy Ruiz fight was any different from any other fight. His preparation wasn't any different. But this needs to be different. All right? You need to prepare as if this is your toughest challenge, not as if you're fighting a replacement fighter or attack him. I think that's who I meant to say earlier in this video. It was Carlos Takam that I was thinking, I believe. All right, he's the one that replaced Pulev. All right. So I didn't like that interview, but AJ needs to focus up. He needs to focus up. He needs to focus up. I see, when I look at social media, especially in YouTube and whatever, the internet. I don't know about you guys, but I take internet breaks. I have an IG. I have a personal. I know some of you follow me on IG, my boxing IG, but I have a personal IG. And I feel like if I spend too much time on it, I get off of it. I'll shut it down for a little bit because I don't want to spend too much time on it. And I feel like AJ should be doing that. I think he needs to get away from all of this shit that's going on and fully focus on his fighting. He should stay off the internet. All these interviews where people are saying this, that, and the third, he should get off that. He needs to fully focus on his fight, and he needs to prepare a good portion of this fight wherever he decides to fight at the very end. All right. Another thing, Andy Ruiz, him too. I've said in another video, I said, listen, I'm glad that he splurged a little bit. He bought his Rolls Royce, got him a big house. I'm sure he's taking care of his family, and he's gonna get paid again for this fight. He's gonna get paid, even if it's just the $9 million. Still, $9 million is a lot. He wasn't gonna get that anywhere else. But I hope he's focused too. I hope he's not becoming Hollywood. A lot of people are making that assumption already. I hope he's preparing for this fight as well. Okay. I hope he doesn't slip up and think that he made it and that's it. This guy did drop you in the fight. He did drop you. And I think a lot of us forget that shit. We all know that AJ got pummeled for the remainder of the third round and the rest of the fight. I understand that. But AJ did drop this dude. AJ did drop this dude first. All right? So I hope Andy Ruiz is going there ready. And I hope AJ is going in there ready too. I hope neither one of them are overlooking each other. But they both sound very, very confident. I think anyone can lose, win or lose this fight. Uh, and I do think on the surface that Andy Ruiz had the advantages. And that's I don't get that vibe from AJ. I think AJ is just so in disbelief that he lost that fight. Like he's so embarrassed and he's so pissed off that he lost that fight. I think sometimes like the way he gives his interviews, I just don't. I'm not sure if he really knows that you lost to a credible fighter. The way he talks of Andy Ruiz, he lost. He feels like he lost to a fighter that he had no business loses to. And I know the majority of people think that he was going to win that fight. He needs to, it needs to hit him here that, yo, you lost to a good fighter. You lost to a guy that has advantages over you. You know, he has a better inside game than you. He throws better combination. He has faster hands. You know, and he's short. And I think that he knows how to use his height against you. You know, he needs to go into the rematch understanding that, and he's at a disadvantage. You're mentally, you've never lost before. You never got just destroyed like that in a fight before. Okay, when you get hit with a good shot, maybe not one that puts you down, but maybe things it'll remind you of that first loss. You know, I saw him in that interview making a point about him and how the fight ended and his mouthpiece and stuff like that. You look defeated. You look like you didn't want to fight anymore, and it's okay. People have been fighting and dying in the ring. I'm not calling you a quitter or anything like that. But at the end of that fight, the way your body language was, you looked over the ropes. You was looking. Your back was against was your back was facing your opponent, the referee. Your arms were up on the ropes. Okay, you were done. You were done, and it's okay. If you lost, just fess up, cause confess. Just make up. Don't make all these excuses about you want to be on plate. You want to be on your back. I get it. Nobody wants to lose that way. But you were done. You were shot, and you were saying it throughout the whole interview, and we saw it. We saw it. I was there. If you were done, you were done. You lost a fight. You lost a fight. Now bounce back. Bounce back. Because as far as I'm concerned, you didn't fall off yet. You didn't fall off. You didn't fall off. You lost, but you didn't fall off. But you could fall off if you're not taking this fight seriously. You know? I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting. Mentally, is he there? Is he ready? A lot of people are saying he's done. A lot of people are saying he's done. And this is why I don't like the conspiracists. I don't like the conspiracy theories because, listen, if this guy, AJ, is 100% in this fight, all right? If he didn't receive a concussion and sparring, or if he wasn't nervous and having panic attacks and all this shit, if he lost a fight because, he was too heavy and all this stuff about his weight, if he's exactly what everybody says he needs to be, and he gets knocked out again, which many people believe that he will, what's going to be the excuse? Now, at that point, he's going to look like a hype job. I'm saying he lost because he lost. We saw that third round. I'm saying he lost because we saw what happened in that third round. He had the upper hand and got caught. He was a little too reckless, got caught. I've been consistent with that since then. It happens in boxing. It happens. It happens. You took your opponent lightly and you fought a damn good opponent. Because of how he looks, you fought a damn good opponent and you overlooked him and you paid for it. And that guy might be legit better than you. He might be better than you. Andy Ruiz is better than Anthony Joshua. He's better than him. Now, until AJ proves otherwise, he's inferior to Andy Ruiz. I don't care who AJ beat. And that's what AJ needs to understand. You're not the superior fighter until we see you actually beat him. But one thing we do know that's fact, that it's fact and there's no denying, no matter what conspiracy you have, AJ got his ass whooped by Andy Ruiz. He beat him down worse than any other fighter that we see. We seen AJ down. We seen AJ get rocked and hurt. No one put on the punishment, gave AJ that kind of punishment other than Andy Ruiz. Whatever conspiracy you have, we know for a fact at this moment that Andy Ruiz is a better fighter. So AJ needs to go into this fight thinking like, I need to push myself to beat this guy. Him. Not Wilder, because he mentioned Wilder. I'm thinking about Wilder. Stop thinking about Wilder. Stop thinking about Fury and all these other fighters that's out there. You need to be focused. Like Andy Ruiz, fat ass body needs to be on your ceiling like this. Like you need a poster of him on your wall and your ceiling. And you need to be thinking about this dude all day. Because if he beats you again, I mean, and maybe he just knows how to beat you. Maybe Andy Ruiz goes on and loses to somebody else. Or maybe AJ goes on and beats everybody else in the division, but loses to Andy Ruiz. That could be a possibility too. You never know. Andy Ruiz is not a bad fighter. I don't know why, like, listen, I wanted AJ to win, and I want him to win a rematch. But yo, Andy Ruiz is a good fighter. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Anyway, Andy Ruiz needs to honor that rematch clause. Take the $9 million. If you win the fight, then you should be able to call all the shots you want from here on. You're the unified champion. All right? Fight Pulev, and you call the shots. You beat AJ twice. You made this amount of pay-per-views or whatever the hell they gonna do with the numbers, you know? You made this amount of money in this fight. Call the shots for Wilder, Fury, or whoever you decide to fight. But you gotta win. You gotta win. You gotta beat the star. You beat him, and then you move on to do whatever you want. Listen, if they're willing to throw him a couple more million, that's cool. But they don't have to. Right? That's my thoughts on it. See you guys on the next one. Peace.